There's a battle raging kind of behind the scenes for the future of your money in Europe. And no, we're not talking about cash or credit cards. We're talking about the digital currency you could be using in just a couple of years. And a huge move was just made that might just decide who wins.
And really, it all comes down to this single, massive question. Who's going to be in charge? Will it be the private banks we all use every day, or will it be the highest public authority, the European Central Bank? The answer here is going to shape, well, everything.
Well, one side just threw down the gauntlet. A powerful new group of commercial banks has officially stepped into the ring, and they're not holding back.
So here's the headline. 9 of Europe's absolute banking heavyweights are teaming up. They're creating a brand new company with one incredibly ambitious goal: to launch their own privately run euro-backed digital currency. You know it as a stablecoin.
And look, this isn't some small-time startup experiment. We're talking about giants like ING, UniCredit, and Danske Bank. When you see this many major players from all over the continent get on board, it tells you just how seriously mainstream finance is taking this whole digital asset thing.
And get this, it's all happening right now. The company itself is being set up in Amsterdam this year. The plan is to actually launch their euro stablecoin in the second half of next year. So this isn't some far-off dream. They're on a very real, very fast timeline.
But okay, what exactly is this thing they're building? The key to their entire strategy is something called a stablecoin, so it's super important we're all on the same page about what that actually is.
The easiest way to think about it is like this. If something like Bitcoin is a super volatile digital asset, a stablecoin is more like a digital voucher. Every single token is designed to be worth exactly €1, because for every token out there, there's a real euro sitting in a bank reserve somewhere. It's supposed to be the best of both worlds, the stability of old-school money with the speed of new tech.
So why even bother? Well, the promise is actually pretty huge. For businesses, for you, for me, this could mean payments that clear in seconds, not in 2 or 3 business days. It could slash the costs of sending money, especially to other countries. And, the big one, it gives you all that without the insane price swings you see with other crypto.
But here's the thing. Launching this is not going to be a walk in the park. Not even close. This new banking venture is basically stepping onto a battlefield where 2 absolute giants are already waiting for them. One from the outside and one from right within Europe.
First, let's talk about the global market. They aren't walking into an empty room. This is a massive, nearly $300 billion arena. And it's an arena that already has a king.
I mean, just look at the scale of this challenge. It's staggering. The entire global stablecoin market is completely, utterly dominated by the US dollar. We're talking nearly $300 billion worth. And the euro? It's a rounding error, a tiny fraction of that. So these banks aren't just launching a product. They are taking a direct shot at the dollar's supremacy in the digital world.
But okay, let's say they can somehow compete with the dollar. They've still got another giant to deal with. And this one is right in their backyard, the European Central Bank, which has a very different idea about the future.
And yeah, the ECB is, let's just say, deeply skeptical. The president, Christine Lagarde, has been crystal clear. She's warned that these privately issued stablecoins could pose real risks to the whole financial system. The central bank is just not sold on the idea that private companies should be in the business of creating a digital euro.
And this really gets us to the heart of it. 2 completely different visions for Europe's future. On one side, you've got the banks, who are pushing for a private, market-driven solution that's all about speed and innovation. And on the other side, you've got the ECB, which is working on its own official public digital euro designed for total stability and centralized control. It's a fundamental clash of ideas over who gets to build the financial roads of tomorrow.
So you might be thinking, with these massive challenges, why are the banks even trying? Why push so hard? Well, because for them, and honestly for Europe as a whole, this is about way more than just a new, convenient way to pay for stuff.
This quote from Fiona Melrose over at UniCredit really hits the nail on the head. She says this whole project is about supporting Europe's growth and financial sovereignty. And that last part, financial sovereignty, that's the real key to this whole story.
So let's just boil it down. What's really at stake here? This is a huge strategic move to cut down Europe's reliance on the US dollar in the new digital economy. It's also a fight for relevance, right? The banks want to make sure they have a key role in the future of money and not get pushed aside by central banks or big tech. At the end of the day, it's a massive push for Europe to build its own digital infrastructure and set its own rules before somebody else does it for them.
Which leaves us right here with the ultimate question.
Is this team of banks actually laying the groundwork for a new era of European financial independence, creating a real competitor that can finally put the euro on the digital map? Or is this whole thing just a bold idea that's destined to get crushed between the power of the digital dollar and the authority of its own central bank? The next 2 years are going to tell us everything.